The signal first appeared on the long-range scanners of the Veyari patrol ship Silent Path. It was faint, broken by static, but still clear enough to be understood. Captain Relos leaned forward in his chair, his four golden eyes narrowing as the message repeated again and again. "This is Terra Prime. We require immediate assistance." Relos froze. He had studied history. Every Academy cadet had. Humans. The strange, fiery species that had once shaken the galaxy with their boldness. They had expanded into space with reckless speed, building colonies far from their homeworld. For a time they had been everywhere, trading, fighting, claiming stars that others thought unreachable. And then, silence. 100 years ago, the humans had vanished from galactic affairs. Their colonies had fallen quiet, their fleets no longer seen. Some said disease had swept through them. Others said civil war had torn them apart. A few believed they had burned themselves out, too fierce to last, but now, here was a signal. A living voice from the past. Relos tapped his console and ordered the signal recorded. The coordinates were unmistakable. Terra Prime, the human homeworld. The news spread faster than light. Across the Galactic Accord, governments, traders, and even raiders whispered of it. The Council of 12 met in emergency session. The insectoid Kurth demanded immediate investigation. The serpent-like Zilari warned of a trap. The cautious Valari suggested ignoring it altogether, but no one could ignore it. Humanity had once been a power too disruptive, too unpredictable. If they were truly alive and asking for help, the balance of the galaxy might shift again, and so fleets were sent. Not one, not two, but many. Warships disguised as escorts. Research vessels eager to record what remained. Even private traders hungry for relics of a dead species, all of them aimed for one star. Sol, the first fleet to arrive, was led by Admiral Sothran of the HFY Dominion. His ships dropped out of fold space, sleek and black against the stars. The Admiral expected ruins, perhaps a dying planet filled with desperate survivors. He expected weakness. What he saw shocked him. Earth hung below, scarred but alive. The planet's surface bore signs of bombardment. Vast craters, burned coastlines, ruined cities. Yet it also pulsed with light. Thousands of habitats glimmered in orbit. Defense platforms turned slowly, their cannons glowing faint red. Fleets of small human ships moved in tight formation, not the ragged, desperate craft of refugees, but disciplined squadrons. "Impossible," Sothran muttered. "They should be gone." The distress beacon still pulsed, calm and steady. But now Sothran wondered, was it truly a call for help? Or was it bait? Meanwhile, far below, the people of Earth watched. Humanity had not died in silence. They had been preparing. The collapse a century ago had been real. Their colonies had fallen. Their fleets had been shattered. But Earth itself had survived, and in its survival had learned a hard lesson. No one was coming to save them. No one could be trusted to protect them. If humanity wished to live, it would have to become stronger than before, and so they had built in secret. Cities had been rebuilt underground and beneath oceans. Their science had advanced in directions the Accord had once called impossible. Engines that could fold space without gates, armor that bent light and gravity, weapons that did not fire energy but devoured it. For 100 years they had waited silent, hidden, growing sharper in the shadows. Now they had spoken again. And the galaxy had heard. Admiral Sothran hailed the planet. His voice was calm but carried suspicion. "This is the fleet of the HFY Dominion. We have received your call. State your condition. Do you require aid?" For a long moment there was only silence. Then a human face appeared on the screen. A man, stern, weathered, his eyes hard as iron. "This is Terra Prime," he said. "We are alive." Sothran waited. The man did not speak of famine or weakness or disease. He did not beg for ships or food. He simply watched, as if measuring the alien admiral with his gaze. "Your signal said you required assistance," Sothran pressed. The man smiled faintly. "Perhaps. Or perhaps we wish to see who still listens." A chill ran down Sothran's spines. This was no desperate remnant. This was a test. One by one, more fleets arrived. The Kurth hives, their ships shaped like living shells. The Valari Union, cautious and slow. Even freebooters and raiders who had followed the rumors. All came expecting weakness. All were met with the same sight. Earth alive, armed and waiting. Some began to whisper that the signal had not been a distress call at all. It had been a declaration. Inside the Council of 12, arguments grew fierce. Should humanity be welcomed back into the Accord? Should they be destroyed before they rose again? Should they be left alone? But no matter the debate, all eyes were fixed on Earth. On the surface, in a great underground hall beneath what had once been Geneva, the leaders of humanity gathered. They watched as alien fleets filled their skies. General Marcus Hale, commander of Earth's defense, stood before the council. His voice was steady. They came as we knew they would. They expect us to beg, to kneel. They expect the end of humanity. Instead, they will see our rebirth. The council murmured in agreement. For a century, humanity had hidden. Now the time for hiding was over. Send the message, Hale ordered. Above the planet, a transmission burst across every channel, every frequency, in every known language of the Accord. The words were simple, but they carried weight that struck the galaxy to its core. We are humanity. We are Terra Prime. We have endured. We will no longer remain silent. The fleets orbiting Earth went still. The galaxy listened. The signal had not been a cry for help. It was something far more dangerous. It was humanity's return. The fleets of the galaxy circled above Earth like vultures around a survivor. Ships from half a dozen empires drifted in orbit, their commanders waiting for answers. Some wanted to help, some wanted to claim territory, and others wanted to make sure humanity would never rise again. But what they all saw disturbed them. Human ships moved in disciplined lines, their engines burning with strange blue fire. Defense platforms tracked every vessel, and their cannons hummed with energy none of the aliens recognized. Earth was not weak. Earth was not broken. Earth was ready. Admiral Sothran of the Archai Dominion was the first to break the silence. His dark-scaled face filled with suspicion as he hailed again. Humans, he said coldly, explain yourselves. Your message was a distress call, but what we see is no dying race. Was this a trick? From Earth, General Marcus Hale appeared once more on the screen. His voice was calm, steady, but it carried the weight of command. A trick? No, a test. We wanted to see who would come. We wanted to see if the galaxy still remembered humanity. The Admiral's claws tapped against his armrest. You risked war to satisfy curiosity? Hale's eyes narrowed. Not curiosity. Preparation. Across the orbiting fleets, alien officers exchanged uneasy glances. Preparation for what? Then the humans revealed their truth. Screens lit up with images from probes sent beyond the galaxy. Massive shapes drifted in the dark between galaxies. Ships larger than moons feeding on stars. The humans had been watching them for decades. These things were not pirates or empires. They were predators, beings that traveled across the void itself, consuming civilizations and moving on. We call them the Harvesters, Hale said. They destroyed 2 of our colonies before the collapse. That is why we fell silent. We were not destroyed by war or disease. We were rebuilding, preparing for when they would come again. The Council of 12, listening from their secure chambers across the stars, erupted in chaos. Some shouted that the humans lied. Others demanded proof. But deep inside, many remembered strange vanishings at the edge of known space, colonies that had gone quiet without explanation. Could it be true? The galaxy had always seen humans as reckless, but now as they watched the evidence, they saw something else. Humanity had not simply survived. They had faced the enemy alone, rebuilt in silence, and created weapons to fight something no other race dared face. That was the real shock. On the flagship of the Valari Union, Counselor Lenara, a slender being with crystal-like skin, spoke softly to her aides. If this is true, then the humans may be the only shield between us and destruction. We mocked them once. We cannot afford to do so again. But not all shared her thoughts. The Kurth, ever hungry for dominance, whispered of seizing Earth's weapons. Why follow humans? Their warlord hissed. Take their secrets. Use them ourselves. And in the shadows of the fleets, mercenaries and raiders dreamed of profit. If humanity had such technology, then whoever controlled it could rule the stars. Down on Earth, the Human Council was not blind. They knew the danger. Hale addressed his people. The galaxy sees us as prey or prize, but soon they will see the truth. We are not begging for allies. We are giving them a choice. Stand with us or stand aside. The next day, humanity sent another message. It was short, but it changed everything. To the Galactic Accord, the Harvesters are real. They are coming. Alone, none of you can stop them. Together, we may stand a chance. Humanity is prepared. We offer alliance, but only as equals. Not as servants. Not as pawns. As partners, the message spread like fire. Entire civilizations debated through the night. Some feared the humans sought to lead them into war. Others secretly felt a spark of hope. The humans once mocked now spoke with the voice of leaders. In orbit, Admiral Sothran considered his position. His people, the Archi, were proud and ruthless. They had never bowed to anyone. Yet even he had to admit, the humans had strength he could not ignore. He called hail once more. If we join you, what guarantee do we have that you will not turn these weapons against us? Hale did not hesitate. You have none, but you do have a guarantee of what happens if you stand alone. For a long time, the alien admiral said nothing, but deep inside, he knew the human was right. Soon other empires began to take sides. The Valari Union sent envoys offering cooperation. Smaller races, long bullied by the Accord's great powers, saw humanity as a chance for protection. The Kurth growled threats but held their fleets back, unwilling to attack Earth directly. The balance of the galaxy was shifting, and everyone could feel it. Then came the final shock. Humanity unveiled one of their warships. From the darkness of the far side of the moon, a vessel drifted into view. It was enormous, larger than anything the alien fleets had brought, its surface covered in shifting plates of black metal that seemed to drink the starlight. Its engines glowed with folded space pulsing like a living heart. This is the Aegis, Hale declared, the first of our warships built to face the Harvesters. It is not our only one. The alien fleet stared in silence. None of them had seen anything like it. Even the proudest empires felt fear, for if humans had built one ship like this in secret, how many more waited in the dark? The Council of 12 was shaken. Their debates turned to whispers of surrender or alliance. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy realized that the humans were not a lost race. They were the strongest race in the stars. In the weeks that followed, some empires agreed to stand with Earth. Others hesitated, too proud or too afraid. But one thing was certain, the signal had changed everything. Humanity had not called for help. They had called the galaxy to account. And as their fleets spread once more into the stars, carrying messages of warning and unity, every world knew the truth. The species they thought gone forever had returned, not as beggars, not as victims, but as leaders. The distress signal had not been a cry of weakness. It was a declaration. Humanity has risen, and the galaxy will never be the same again.